Thanksgiving dinner, my grandmother asked me, what the heck is this Bitcoin stuff anyway, right? And I said to her, do you remember when Visa cards first came out? You were used to paying with cash or with a check, and then a Visa came out. It was this weird payment system that you didn't understand. And she said, yeah, I remember that. I said, well, Bitcoin is just the next evolution of another payment system.
Brace yourself, Nakamoto was the foundation.
What up guys, Nakamoto Crypto here. Now with Bitcoin going through an extended bull run, scammers and con artists are back at it again, just to exploit a general fear of missing out. Now on one hand, many early Bitcoin adopters have become multi-millionaires over the years simply by holding the digital asset. On the other hand, many Bitcoin investment scams have emerged over the years and millions of dollars have been lost to these fraudsters. Now, although some education and awareness campaigns have helped to expose some of these sinister scam tactics, it appears that new ones are emerging on a daily basis. One such new tactic implies that investors can buy or own shares in Bitcoin as if it was a corporation. And this tactic is, for example, a part of an elaborate plot used by individuals behind an operation called Bitcoin Inc., simply designed to con ignorant investors into mistaking the operation for the real Bitcoin. In a presentation, shareholders of the Bitcoin Inc. Corporation depict Bitcoin as the creation of a privately owned company that came into existence around the year 2010. The timing of Bitcoin Inc. emergence appears to give the impression that the organization is likely behind the issuance of Bitcoin itself. Using half-truth and outright false claims, the scammer's webpage says that investors already hold Bitcoin shares through Bitcoin Inc.'s full corporate shares after buying these way back in 2010. According to the information on the site, there is a 21 million Bitcoin maximum limit, as if we already don't know that, and also there is 1000 Bitcoin Inc. full corporate shares as a maximum limit. That we didn't know. One full corporate share is equivalent to 10 BTC. Now, in order to entice ignorant investors, the website implies that anyone who brought and held on to one full corporate share of this Bitcoin since 2010 now has an estimated portfolio value of $210,000. This is because BTC has since risen from the price of 10 cents in 2010 when the full corporate shares was supposedly issued back then. So indeed, BTC have been the best performing asset over the past decade, but it was not issued by any single entity as the operators of Bitcoin Inc. are insinuating. Rather, the creation and issuance of Bitcoins are down to a complex and decentralized technology, as we all know. So while Bitcoin Inc. correctly states 21 million as the fixed supply of BTC, the organization fails to inform its potential investors that nearly 18.5 million Bitcoins have already been issued so far. So the very last BTC will only be issued in the year 2140. Yet, Bitcoin Inc. implies throughout its sales pitch that 21 million coins are already in circulation, which is a bold lie. Meanwhile, at the moment, BTC is trading just above $19,000. Interestingly, the Bitcoin Inc. site falsely implies that Bitcoin has projected the price of $21,000, which we have yet to see, and would also imply that BTC is at a new all-time high of $21,000, and we haven't seen that yet. Normally, this use of false information alone should be enough to turn investors away. Typical Bitcoin scammers are aware of the general ignorance level of non-Bitcoiners to such levels that they are not overly worried about the potential downsides of using these lies. Instead, the scammers already know that using the appeal of getting rich quickly is often enough to hoodwink even the most rational investors. Furthermore, an apparent reluctance to learn the basics about Bitcoin by these non-Bitcoiners, as well as the failure to follow the trends in the crypto markets usually gift these scammers with new victims every single day. So perhaps the least known tactic employed by these scammers is the attempt to cast themselves as a group of philanthropists. Copying this strategy, the Bitcoin Inc. scam company is giving an opportunity to investors that missed out when its full corporate shares were supposedly issued and sold for the first time, by making this statement that the full corporate shares of Bitcoin Inc. were purchased long ago, with the shareholders enjoying the benefits and dividends that come with owning the shares of a successful corporation. Bitcoin Inc. has secured an agreement with all shareholders, which they are now generously offering fractionally equivalent corporate shares to the public in the honor of Bitcoin Inc.'s 10-year anniversary. How ironic that a company we have never heard of all of a sudden comes out of the blue celebrating their 10-year anniversary. Using a very incoherent explanation, Bitcoin Inc. assures its investors who missed out back in 2010 that they can now make amends by just holding any amount of USDCX in your cryptocurrency wallet. To do this, the website then goes on for the kill. An investor simply has to transfer USDC stablecoins equivalent to the USDCX fractional shares they want to buy to an Ethereum contract address. But there is a catch. The statement explains that in order to maintain the integrity of the Bitcoin Inc. corporate shares, the request for the USDCX shares will be processed manually. That once we verify the transaction, the corresponding USDCX will be sent directly to your wallet from the USDCX Ethereum contract address. Only when the process is complete does one become a proud owner of a now USDCX that came out of a blue and a co-owner of the official Bitcoin Inc. But nothing stops the scammers from doing the same thing over and over again with another Bitcoin-like website or domain, such as Bitcoin Limited. Bitcoin is perfectly suited for scammers in that there is no trademark or corporation behind the Bitcoin brand who can protect it from scammers that claims that they are the originators of the Bitcoin code. So in a nutshell, scammers can fool you, showing you a website that doesn't exist, take your money and run away with it. They can even sit on it for the next few years before cashing out, as the scammers from the 2016 Bitfinex hack are now transferring $21 million worth of Bitcoin to unknown wallets. They have been sitting on these coins for the past 4 years, and on Wednesday morning, around 2034 Bitcoin worth $21.6 million from the 2016 Bitfinex hack has moved for the first time in 4 years. These actions were caught by BTC Parser program as 5 transactions with around 400 BTC each moved for the first time. The first move saw 389.9 BTC transferred, and then another 400 BTC were transferred 22 minutes later. A minute after that, the Bitfinex hacker sent 399.31 BTC to an unknown wallet. The last 2 transactions stemming from the Bitfinex hacker took place in a 10-minute time span. Unlike Mt. Gox though, Bitfinex survived the loss and it paid customers back by creating one of the first exchange-backed tokens. The recent 21.6 million transferred followed the exchange offering a bounty for those who help catch this Bitfinex hacker. They have been tracking him for the past 4 years. During the first week of August 2020, Bitfinex offered a reward up to $400 million just for information concerning this malicious actor. The news of the Bitfinex hack, Bitcoin on the move, also follows the recent massive outflow of BTC from BitMEX that were transferred to exchanges like Binance, Gemini, and Kraken. So is BitMEX next, as they have been under fire since the SEC have been investigating them? Let us know in the comment section below. Like the video, share, subscribe for some daily crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.
Bitcoin under $8,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin under $5,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin over $10,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin is over $20,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin under $8,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin under $5,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin is over $10,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin is over $20,000.
Buy it.
Best performing asset in the last 10 years. True. Look into crypto, we need volunteers. No need to tiptoe, it won't disappear. Do your research, history made it clear.